What's the deal? How did the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominating committee not first induct as a duo Sonny and Cher to get into the Hall of Fame prior to putting Cher in there as a solo artist? It makes no sense. If you know the Sonny and Cher story, you'll know that if there's no Sonny, there's no Cher. How could this happen? As you may know, Cher was recently inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. However, today we're not going to so much talk about Cher being inducted because she deserves to be in, but rather Sonny Bono was excluded as part of the dynamic duo of Sonny and Cher of the 60s. Again, this is not a knock against Cher. It's a knock against the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nomination committee. It's been reported that Cher lobbied to be in the hall, but she should have insisted that Sonny and Cher as a duo go in first. Sonny created the iconic Sonny and Cher comedy hour. He blended music and comedy for the mass appeals and received a lot of television success. Sonny was always that fall guy, who took the punches with Cher's sarcastic remarks at the beginning of each show. Yet he was the genius who supported that type of slapstick humor. Sonny helped pioneer Phil Spector's Wall of Sound production. Sonny was the 1960s innovative genius that helped shape Sonny and Cher's distinctive hippie image, which resonated with the counterculture of the 1960s. Sonny used his platform to mentor and promote other artists, contributing to their growth in the industry. Now let's talk about the music. Sonny not only sang, but he also wrote and produced many hit songs. That included I Got You, Babe, and The Beat Goes On. And also two of Cher's first solo gigantic hits, Bang Bang and You Better Sit Down, Kids. And what about Cher's recent acceptance speech at the Hall's induction ceremony? Of course, all the attention was given to Cher, as it should have. However, Sonny was hardly mentioned at the show about her success and getting her career started. At Cher's acceptance speech, she thanked about 5 or 6 people, but not Sonny. The only time she talked about Sonny Bono was their divorce. My sense is, if Sonny was still alive, it would have been all different, and Sonny and Cher, as a duo, would have been inducted together into the Hall many years ago. Ike and Tina Turner was in the Hall 30 years before Tina went in as a solo artist. None of the Beatles, as much success as they had as solo artists, went in before the group, the Beatles. Paul Simon was inducted as a solo artist 11 years after the duo of Simon and Garfunkel. So, how could this happen? How did the nominating committee get this one so wrong? All right, now it's time for our recording artist spotlight. Today, it's Hall of Fame inductee Aretha Franklin. What about Aretha? She was the first woman inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1987. She earned 18 Grammy Awards, including the prestigious Lifetime Achievement Award in 1994. She had over 100 singles on the Billboard charts, including 20 number one songs on the R&B charts that included iconic songs like Respect, Chain of Fools, and Natural Woman. She received the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2005, the highest civilian honor in the United States for her contribution in music and culture. She was a leader and activist for civil rights. She was the first Black woman on Rolling Stone magazine's greatest recording artist, ranked at number 9 amongst the greatest of all time. She was a Kennedy Center honoree in 1994. She had that historic performance at President Obama's inauguration in 2009, where she delivered the powerful rendition of My Country, 'Tis a Thee. She's known as one of the greatest singers and possessed the iconic voice, blending gospel, R&B, jazz, and pop with the emotion and skill that only Aretha could do. We miss you and we salute you today, Miss Aretha Franklin. Okay, Today's one hit wonder recognition goes to Mike Brewer and Tom Shipley, better known as Brewer and Shipley. They were the folk rock duo known for their harmony driven sound that blended folk, rock, and country influences amongst their music. They recorded with special commentary that included justice, peace, and environmental concerns that resonated with the era's progressive movements. So, what was the one hit wonder? You wonder? If you haven't already guessed, it was One Toke Over the Line, a song that continues to be played all over the world. So, what is the significance with One Toke Over the Line? It's a cultural anthem of the 70s. The song became part of the counterculture movement with its humorous take on smoking pot. The song peaked at number 10 on Billboard's Hot 100 in 1971 and remained on the chart for 14 weeks. When it climbed the chart, it did so with some controversy. Its drug influences led to some radio stations banning the song, yet it gained popularity by highlighting the growing division between the counterculture and the traditional establishment. The recording included the Grateful Dead's Jerry Garcia, who contributed his talents to the steel guitar. Despite those stations that refused to play the song, it was widely accepted as it was performed by family-friendly TV program of The Lawrence Welk Show and performed by the Lawrence Welk Singers. Sadly, we lost Mike Brewer recently, a few weeks ago on December 17th, 2024. So today's one hit wonder tribute is Brewer and Shipley. It's time to recognize some of those recording artists from the vinyl record era who have birthdays this month. Let's watch. We've also lost our share of great recording artists from the vinyl record era. Even from the beginning of the rock era, on February 3rd, 1959, known as the day the music died, was the day we lost Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, and the Big Bopper in that Iowa plane crash. So, what we're going to do is look back at some of the recording artists who passed in the month of January in years past. Let's watch. If you're looking for this sort of information about the songs and the artists from the vinyl record era, please subscribe to this channel, give it a thumbs up, and leave a comment or a memory that you'd like to share. It is time to spotlight three songs from previous Januaries in the vinyl era. Let's start with the first decade of rock and roll in the 1950s. It was Fats Domino's Blueberry Hill. It peaked on Billboard's Hot 100 at number 2 on January 19th, 1957. The song became one of Fat's most famous and enduring hits. It's truly a rock and roll classic. It ranked number 1 on the R&B charts and solidified Domino's status as a major crossover artist into the pop charts. Blueberry Hill was written in 1940 and recorded by multiple artists. Domino's version redefined the song with the signature New Orleans rhythm and blues style. Blueberry Hill showcased Domino's unique piano playing. It blended boogie woogie and rock and roll, which became a distinction of the Fats Domino sound. Blueberry Hill's success helped bring the New Orleans and the R&B style into the rock and roll audience and to the world. Since its release, Blueberry Hill remains frequently covered by many recording artists in many genres in the Fats Domino style. It's Blueberry Hill. Our second January spotlight song is the Beatles' We Can Work It Out. It peaked at number 1 on Billboard's 100 on January 8, 1966. It's a perfect collaboration between Paul McCartney's optimistic verses and John Lennon's middle eight. Part that begins with Life is Very Short. It showcased their contrasting yet complementary songwriting styles. The single was a double A record with Day Tripper on the flip side of the 45. Day Tripper reached number 1 in multiple countries, including the US and the UK. We Can Work It Out had an innovative structure. It blended a folk-inspired melody with shifting tempos and moods, making it one of their most sophisticated songs at that time. We Can Work It Out's lyrics emphasize compromise and understanding with personal, social, and cultural changes. And it was a massive hit. At the time, it was the fastest selling single in the United Kingdom's history. It sold over 1 million copies in less than a month. It's one of those timeless Beatles songs that still has massive appeal today, with their ability to blend emotional depth with commercial success. We Can Work It Out. Our final January song peaked at number 7 on Billboard's Hot 100 on January 2nd, 1971. It's Chicago's third big hit. Does anybody really know what time it is? It was a smash after Make Me Smile and 25 or 624. These songs helped Chicago establish themselves as a leading force in the rock music scene by blending both rock and jazz. Along with Blood, Sweat, and Tears and Tower of Power and their famous horn sections, Chicago separated themselves from other rock bands. The song featured a complex horn arrangement with the piano-driven melody, highlighting Chicago's innovative approach of integrating jazz and rock. Written by Robert Lamb, the song explores themes of time and priorities amongst us humans. Listeners loved it, who were seeking a deeper meaning in music. It's a standout track from their album, Chicago Transit Authority, which received critical acclaim and solidified their reputation as a groundbreaking rock group. The song continues to this day as being a fan favorite on classic rock radio stations. That's Does Anybody Really Know What Time It Is? And on that theme, that's it. Until next time, just keep rocking.